Yep. Thank you, Eugene Tuinstra, for explaining us the rationale of A-CDM. Let's take it one level up. I prepared a few slides, a few experience-based slides on my 12-year plus career of implementing A-CDM. Next slide, please. The first thing when I was asked to prepare this webinar was something that always comes to my mind, which is still a bit disappointing, is the fact that A-CDM is still pretty much perceived as a tool, as a software tool that you plug in and play with. But actually, it's not. It's a way of working. It's a way of life of performing airport operations. Having said that, I don't mean that technology is not important in the implementation of A-CDM. On the contrary, but it should not be the end goal. It's the starting point and it's the enabler for organizing a more efficient turnaround process. And that's exactly where the return on investment is of your IT systems, your supporting technology for data sharing in an A-CDM setup. Next one that we always come across is the fact that culture change is very much underestimated. Again, it's about a new way of working, so people need to adopt new procedures and adapt to a new framework. Meaning that it's always people when they first encounter A-CDM, they see, well, that's the next big thing, but it's very difficult for them to forget how the way they worked before and the procedures they need to adopt to change. Also, procedure adherence is key on that point. Next slide, please. My second slide touches the unlocked potential. It's already been briefly addressed by my colleague Eugene Tuinstra. A-CDM journey, it's very much, again, perceived as a project which comes to a close once the project is officially implemented, but the actual journey or the actual moment when you get the return on investment on implementing A-CDM only starts at the day of implementation, provided that the concept has been very well embedded into the daily operations and that people, like specifically operational staff, know what A-CDM can bring as a benefit. And next thing on the potential of A-CDM, which we see, is the fact that having an IT tool which collects the operational data you're collecting on the 16 milestones, you're generating a bunch of operational data, and we are seriously asking ourselves, do the airport actually tap in that data lake to create insights into stakeholder behavior? Do airports actually have an idea of how their A-CDM partners are performing? We have some doubts on that point. Also touched by Eugene, discuss this performance with your operational partners. Again, this is a part of the culture change, openly discussing what goes wrong in the operation with the objective to improve the business process, continuous improvement of your business operations. Milestone approach, you probably saw the 16 milestones in Eugene's second slide. There's still huge potential there, both vertically and horizontally. Vertically, in an attempt to get better insights into what's actually happening in the sub-process of the turnaround process. This is still an opportunity there. So this is how A-CDM can definitely be made better. But also horizontally, Eugene Lehmann will briefly talk about APOC, Airport Operation Centers, and the concept of milestones in passenger and bag processes can very well be adopted there as well, and will greatly enhance situational awareness and create a holistic view of airport operations. And that's my contribution to this